of Pure Light Family Chiropractic. And tonight we are doing a webinar on 10 simple steps that you can take in your life to be healthier and stronger, to really regain your health and to reach new levels of health. And this is something that is so basic for everyone. And often in these webinars, we're really focused on prenatal, pregnancy, postpartum, pediatrics, or sensory autism, so many specific things. This one is more general for everybody. So really this can apply to anyone, but mostly adults, but things that you can start instilling in your whole family. Ways to live your life and be mindful so that you can be your best self, because especially if you're a parent, you are pulled in a lot of directions and you want to be the best you can be for your family, and then also for your career to be the best you can be successfully, and being productive and focused. And this can apply to younger people too, students, whether in universities or high school or younger, really learning ways to stimulate your brain more, live healthier day to day, and how these affect your health long term. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I think if you're on here, you know that health is the most important aspect of your life and that there's always ways to improve. And if you're like most Americans, you need improvement because we live in a very intense culture and society and busy life. As families, we're often isolated. We don't have a lot of support. But as our office, our team, our staff, our doctors, we're always here to support you. And that's why we do these webinars, just as good reminders. A lot of the stuff you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. But it's good to have it all condensed and also a good reminder. So thank you for logging on and listening. I do have a chat bar here. If anybody has any questions or comments or want to share other things that they've done, or if you've already implemented some of these changes in your life and have noticed big leaps in your health, I'd love to hear. So please comment if you'd like. So the first one is to sit less and move your body more. So we all know exercise is extremely important. It's not just important for your cardiovascular system and your immune system and your lymphatic system. It's also important for your mental and emotional well-being. So you really want to move your body a lot. You want to sit less. We obviously have to sit when we're driving our cars, but maybe if you live in town, you can ride your bike or you can walk places. And you want to make sure that you are moving your body intentionally and mindfully, whether you work with a trainer, or you're well adept at what to do movement wise, but you really want to get your heart rate up at least 4 times a week for 30 minutes. We've all heard this, but it's really, really important to move your body and sit less. In terms of spinal and neurological health, sitting is to the spine as sugar is to the teeth. It's an old saying in our profession, and it's true. If you sit too much, your spine's not going to be healthy. Movement is life. And for most people growing up in our culture, you've likely sat through school your whole life. So you start sitting right in kindergarten and you sit through school most of the day until you're 18, and then you go to college and you sit more. And if you go to chiropractic school or other graduate school, you sit for even longer. So you're literally sitting for like 25 years straight, a lot. So you really want to counteract that with movement, healthy movement. If you stop moving, your body's going to rebel against you. Your health is going to decline. You're going to have more aches and pains. One of the best things you can do too, if you're pregnant and you're feeling some stagnation in your body and some lower back pain or things aren't moving properly, hip pain, movement, it may feel like the last thing you want to do, but when you get things moving, it really, really matters. It makes a huge difference. And then you start to really want to do it, right? When you get in the habit of doing something healthy for your body, you crave it. And so movement is key. My favorite type of movements are cycling. As a mom, I love my Peloton bike, in terms of being able to hop on there for a quick 30-minute ride, cycling ride, especially if my daughter's napping or so forth. Functional movement, weight, strength training is really, really good. There's a couple of really great gyms locally and no matter where you live watching this. Working with somebody who can watch how you're moving and help guide you so that you can move better and more functionally appropriate for your body. And then stretching, yoga type movements are so good, whether they're restorative or more like heat inducing. Walking is always good. And just so many great ways to move your body. Love to hear your favorite ways to move your body. So please comment if you'd like. So moving more. And again, these are all things we've all heard, but the more of them that you do consistently together, the more in charge of your health and your life you are going to be. So, sit less, move more, get more sleep. So, sleep is often the most undervalued aspect of our health in our society. People even, brag about how they can function on very little sleep. And as a mom or a parent, if you've gone through newborn stages and toddler stages, your sleep has been broken and you've adapted. And it's amazing what our bodies can adapt to, right? We can function on less sleep. There are things such as caffeine to help us, but in the long run for our health, our adrenal glands, our function, our brain health, we really, really need to be getting more sleep. And to improve your sleep habits, say if you go to bed late, you wake up early, try to go to bed at least 1 hour earlier every night. They say that if you go to bed by 10 p.m., then your brain can really go into a full good night's sleep cycle. When I say they say, it's research that I've read at some point, and if you want it, I can let you know. Just send me a message. But getting to bed by 10 p.m. Don't eat too late right before bed. That will affect your quality of sleep. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed. Turn off your Wi-Fi router when you go to bed. Sleep in total darkness. Really, really make sure you're supporting your brain and your nervous system by getting the sleep that you need. If you are having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, or no matter how much sleep you get, you still feel horrible, those are all red flags that your body is way beyond stressed and you need to intervene, because it's not just going to get better on its own. And that's something that we can help with. We see it all the time. So getting more sleep, even just to aim to add 1 hour extra a night, is going to make a difference. So going to bed earlier or getting up an hour later, whatever you need, whatever fits your schedule in your life. If you have little kids, try to go to bed earlier when they go to bed. I know when they go to sleep, it's like, oh, now it's time for yourself or time with you and your spouse. And I totally get that. But sleep is really important. So make sure you're getting more of it. It's literally life-changing if you can make it happen. And then the next one, so we talked about movement, we talked about sleep, and now we're going to talk about eating. So really the basics of life here. So you want to eat less more often. So this is, when it comes to diets and ways in choosing to fuel your body, there's so many opinions and so many plans and so many things out there. But most people, if you're feeding your body consistently throughout the day with like high octane fuel foods for your body, whole foods, ideally organic, non-genetically modified, non-processed foods, having vegetables and high fat, high protein, and then fruits throughout the day can really keep you fueled. If you're just eating like big meals and not really fueling yourself throughout the day, you're likely to have more crashes or hunger throughout the day. You also want to eat breakfast. Don't skip breakfast, especially if you're a woman or mother, especially if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Don't skip breakfast. You actually want to eat at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes from waking up in the morning. That's going to best support your hormone cycles in your body. So make sure you're eating enough healthy, delicious food, beginning with breakfast. Small doses throughout the day. It can really make a big difference. You'll feel your best. Okay, so we talked about movement, we talked about sleep, we talked about eating, and now we're going to talk about removing interference in your body. So you want to remove stress and interference that builds up in your nervous system. How do you do that? The best, most efficient way to do that is through pediatric, prenatal, and family chiropractic care that removes interference from your brain-body connection, literally with stress and trauma that builds up in your body. So gentle, specific, brain-based chiropractic care will literally change your life. We see it every single day. It changed my life. That's why I'm a chiropractor. It changed Dr. David's life. It changed Dr. Liz's life. It changed every single chiropractor I know. Became a chiropractor because it changed their life. And we all have countless testimonies and stories from our people that we care for that it has changed their life. It has allowed them to have a higher functioning brain. Literally, when you get adjusted, it turns on the higher frontal lobe centers of your brain. So you're getting out of that fight or flight stress mode in your brain, and you're able to think more clearly, focus, make better choices. You just feel more energy in your body. You're naturally sleeping better. You're naturally digesting food better. Overall, your body is going to be completely changed. Again, if you do all of these things, your body's going to be significantly better, but getting your nervous system cleared of old traumas and stressors and injuries, game changer. And specifically, we can help you with that, of course. And if you need to help finding somebody in your area, your zip code, who specializes in this type of care, just let us know, send us a message, and we can help you find the right fit for you and your family. So the next one is to have more renewal time, so restoration time. So as human beings, we're designed to rest. We're not meant to work constantly 10, 11, 12-hour days. We're not meant to not have breaks. So it's really important that you're listening to your body throughout the workday, throughout your work week, throughout your parenting days, and really knowing when to slow down, when to take a break, when to take a little siesta nap if you can, and really refuel. Even if this means that you sit down for 5 minutes and you put on a meditation on an app on your phone, or you just close your eyes and you lay in the sun, whatever you need to do to refuel. You're not meant to push through constantly. And if you feel like you need help in that area, there's definitely things that you can do to help, ask for help, especially if you're a parent, reaching out and having somebody help you with your kids, making sure that maybe that means getting up a little bit earlier in the day before your kids so that you have some time in the morning. And then during, quiet time, you can take time for yourself, and then later in the day as well. So making sure to renew more. Ideally, you want to take a break every 90 minutes. That would be ideal. In terms of understanding neurophysiology and brain function, 90 minutes is about the maximum amount of time that your brain is going to be able to function at its highest peak. And then you need to give your brain basically time to regenerate and refuel its peptides, if you will. And this can be also mean take a break and eat something. Eat some blackberries or strawberries or a high protein snack or something to just refuel. It doesn't mean that, you're going off and going on a kayaking or stand-up paddleboard time up at the lake. If you can fit that in, great. It can literally just mean going and sitting in the sun for 5 minutes, which sunshine is also very important. Okay, and then the next one is to be present. So undivided attention with either yourself or those who you're with. If you're a parent, being undivided attention present with your children is a game changer for their well-being and also their behavior and for yourself and feeling fulfilled as a parent. So being present, putting technology away, really, if you can give somebody your attention fully for an hour, it means so much more than hours of, distracted time. So whether it's your spouse, your family, your friends, people that you work with, undivided attention, be present. The more you do this, the more you crave it and the more you enjoy it. So really taking the time to be present with those in your life. Even if this is a stranger, if you're checking out at the grocery store, be present with the person in front of you, connect with them. You find that the more you can connect with people throughout the day, the more fulfilled you're going to feel, the more you're going to smile, the more they're going to smile, and the more uplifted and healthier you're going to feel. It really is so simple. Being grateful. So gratitude is so important for your overall well-being. Literally changes the vibration of your cells in your body. It changes the energy that you put out into the world when you can be grateful. And there's always things to be grateful for. There's always things to complain about and be grumpy about, sure, but there's always things to be grateful for. And a simple practice of grounding down, when you do start to feel grumpy or overwhelmed or stressed, get in the habit of taking a breath, thinking about even one thing that you're grateful for, or ideally at least 3 things that you can be grateful for, and just sit down and sit with those feelings of what that makes you feel. Being grateful together as a family is really important. So our family likes to say what we're grateful for when we eat dinner, and to thank God for our life and our family and our nourishment, and really taking the time to have gratitude together with people is also really uplifting and can, again, change the vibration and frequency that you emit out into the world and make you a happier, healthier person. So I'm very grateful that you're watching this. I hope this is impactful. And then another thing that can really make a game changer in your overall health is to reduce your levels of stress. We all have our to-do lists. So my biggest advice in terms of tackling things is to do the most important thing first in the morning. So typically you're going to have the most energy and focus and, motivation in the morning. So when you're looking at what you need to get done today, what's the most important thing you need to do? Do that first. And then you're going to be set up for more presence and checking other things off your list. You're not going to be stressing about that most important thing that needs to get done. So do that first. The next one is to challenge your mind, feed your mind. So we all know it's important to be continually reading. I'd love to know what you're reading, what's stimulating your mind, but really learning new things too is really, really cool. So whether this means, it's whatever season it is, you're going to learn how to go mountain biking, you're going to learn how to ski or snowboard, you're going to get outside and learn something new, you're going to learn how to rock climb. This can also mean learning a new language. Learning woodworking or a new art or craft. Do something that stimulates your brain. This is something that, in our busy lives, we often don't do because, quite frankly, our schedules are full and we're tired. But if you can make it a point to get excited and motivated to do something, you can have somebody do it with you, have a buddy who wants to learn something new with you or with your spouse or your children. It's a really, really cool way to enhance your brain health. And then last but not least, these 10 things, you guys, all add up. The last one is to give back. So whether this means to give back through with your time or your finances, giving back to causes and communities, things in the community that you can support through volunteer work or tithing with your spiritual community, or just, showing up and giving back to people in your life who need help. Reaching out, who's in your tribe? Do they need extra support? Is there a family in your life who just had a new baby who might need a meal cooked for them? Is there somebody who who doesn't necessarily reach out, who might need a text or a call to just check in? Give your time, give your love, share who you are with the world. And all of these things, you guys, are so simple, but they make a world of a difference. And when you can do all of them, you can regain your health. The more of them you do, the sooner you'll feel better. But really, truly, it's the little things in life that add up. And we all want to be our best selves. And it's really hard sometimes when the world we live in is very demanding and stressful and chaotic and confusing and nonstop. But when we can make these simple changes throughout the day, they add up every day, every week, every month, every year. And life is too short to, not be our best selves and be healthy the way we're designed to be. So I hope this was impactful for you, these 10 things. And I'd love to hear feedback on you implementing these in your life. I'd also love to hear other ideas and things that you do in your life to help you be your best self. I hope this was enjoyable for you. And I know I went through that all really quick. I don't see any questions on here. So I hope everybody has a lovely night. It's almost 8 p.m. So you have a couple more hours to enjoy the night before you should get to bed and get a good night's sleep. All right, everybody, have a great night and we'll talk soon.